So we have a 1-year-old bottle of spiced apple wine.
Let's give it a taste.
But in order to do that, we need to fill these glasses, which means we need the pour can. Okay, so like we said, this is a year old, which we used to do it from bottling. So this is a year in the bottle. Now we actually do a year from the start of it, I think, right? Nope, still a year in the bottle. Okay, forget I said any of that. It's at 1.002, so it's quite dry, and it's 14.3%. On the color and clarity, it's got a very slight haze. You can see through it.
Yeah.
But it does have a slight haze.
But it's
Just
not...
being honest.
Oh, sure. It's definitely hazy. And I am 110% cool with that. Because to me, a quality spiced apple beverage is going to be cloudy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think cider, you think...
It's ingrained into my brain.
Ingrained in her brain.
Ingrained into my brain. And then I smell it.
And it smells like spiced apples.
It's glorious.
Really does smell nice. I'm thinking this was probably the Costco apple juice that doesn't have anything else in it. It's just some concentrate, but it doesn't have any ascorbic acid. Yeah. We've had weird results with ascorbic acid, which worries me for something that we have coming up soon. But yeah, the smell, I'm getting the cinnamon, I'm getting the spices, the apple comes through. It smells nice and sweet, actually.
It does.
I don't think this is going to be sweet. I'm expecting this to be fairly dry.
It just smells so wonderful. I really hope it's not going to do that trick.
Wow. This is 1.002. This does not taste like 1.002.
Oh no. I did the second swallow and about killed myself.
Don't do that.
It is not doing the trick. And by the trick, I meant where it smells really good and then you taste it and it doesn't live up to the expectations of the aroma. Mm-hmm. No. This delivers
lives up to it easily
on the aroma. And it has a really nice acidity to it, which I'm really appreciating because
that's why she choked on it.
Which is why I choked on it, yeah. But it goes well with the spices because it doesn't let the spices overtake the apple. You still definitely get an apple sensation from this. Without
going back and checking the videos, I would say we may have back sweetened this somehow and didn't write it down. This is definitely sweeter than 1.002. But yeah, this tastes way sweeter than I would have thought it is, which is nice. I mean, that makes me like this that much more. I mean, we taste everything at room temperature so that we have a consistent basis for tasting. Chilled, I think this would be even better. It just has a really nice overall balance.
Yet I feel going the opposite direction and heating this up would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think that would be great too. I mean, this is very versatile. That's what I'm thinking.
Right now, the only thing that I could think of that would make this better is to make it a mead.
Yeah, this would be a sizer.
If it had a honey note in it as well.
Yeah.
This would be absolute perfection.
But like just taking you on the journey, as it enters your mouth, you're presented with ripe apple sweetness with a touch of cinnamon. Just really, really nice. It's thick and rich without being cloying. The sweetness of the fruit seems to carry through. In the mid-mouth though, the mid-taste, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot more of the tannic quality and the spice flavors start to really hit and you feel it in your mouth. You feel
it on your tongue, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely feel it without it being unpleasant. I mean, it's actually really, really nice. And then on the finish, that sweetness comes back and you're left with like a nice fruity, lightly spiced finish. Really wonderful, very complex. Lots of layers of the spice and the fruit playing together. Really, really nice.
Right. I'm getting a similar experience that I get with pairing wine with food. And I'm sure those of you that really enjoy pairing wine with food, you might experience the same thing that I experienced where drinking the wine enhances the flavors of the food.
Sure.
Which then enhances the flavor of the wine and it just kind of goes back and forth.
Alcohol-soluble flavors.
Right. And the sensation
tomatoes.
that I try to verbalize that experience is that the wine wakes up my palate. It like invigorates it. It gets it excited so that it's more receptive to the flavors and the food.
You are your father's daughter.
And I feel that when we get to the spice note in this particular beverage, I'm feeling that same sensation that the spices are waking up my senses and getting me all excited so that the next sip, I then appreciate the sweet apple notes even more. And it's kind of circular, and then you want to keep on sipping, but you don't want to chug it because you want to enjoy each of the different stages that you get with this beverage. And that's lovely. I mean, I'm a fan of layers, so yay me, but this is definitely a layer beverage, and it has different points of the journey of enjoying it that if you're into that sort of thing, it probably will make you just as happy as it's making me.
Okay, I'm going to go on record and say something.
Uh-oh.
I am not a huge fan of fermented apple beverages. I like them, like ciders and things like that. I like them, but they have to fit a certain mold for me to really like them. This falls into that. I could take it a bit sweeter and still really like it. I think it's okay the way it is, but I think it could be a touch sweeter for me. But the spiced flavors in there with the apple really put this more towards something that I would go for.
And that's why I said the only thing to me that would make it better is if it had that honey note.
Yeah,
so that
I can see that too.
The little bit of additional sweetness, but not just pure sweetness. I want the honey flavor to complement what's going on here. And it's reminding me of your spice methaglin.
In a way,
with apple.
Yeah, that's precisely. Yeah. I don't remember all the spices we put in here, but I know there's cinnamon in it.
Yeah.
And probably clove. I think there's clove. And I probably did allspice berries, but I don't really get the allspice so much.
I feel like nutmeg might be in here, but I might be wrong.
It's possible. Who knows?
Because we would have, I don't know. We'll have to watch the video. Link in the description below.
But I think we should put a score on this, and then I have a little experiment to do. Do you have a number?
I do.
I'm debating on a couple of numbers. Okay, I have a number ready. 1, 2, 3, 8.5. Wow. I was between 8 and 8.5. I wasn't sure, but I think 8.5 because this is better than I expected it to be. When I saw the numbers, I was like, I don't know about this one. But at 14%, and even if I don't know that it's 1.002, and I think maybe it's not that dry, this is pretty nice. I have to admit, it's pretty nice.
It's very nice. Very nice.
4 years into my glass.
Okay.
I got an idea. I need to get a couple things. I'll be right back. Okay, she mentioned about adding honey to this. Now, this is going to be fermented, but this will give the idea of what would happen if we did add honey. And I'm just going to put in like half a teaspoon of honey in that amount. And then I'm going to try to mix this up. And before anybody goes crazy about oxidation, it can't possibly get oxidized because we're going to consume it like right now. Okay, so that's mixed up. That's just, like I say, half a teaspoon. Barely detectable on the nose. Go ahead. Give that a try. But it adds a richness and another depth to it. We may have to re-examine this one as a sizer. Spiced sizer. I like that.
Yeah.
I know people have done it before, but I don't think we did. So there you go. We might have to do this. By the way, that was just Kirkland, Costco, wildflower honey. We have started purchasing it recently, and it's turned out to be pretty great. It's reasonably priced too, so if you have a Costco near you or the ability to get one, or I don't know, Kirkland, sometimes you can get it through Amazon. So see if we can.
Yeah, I can check.
And if we can, there'll be a link to that in the description.
Yeah, honey prices have gone up rather significantly.
It's getting harder and harder to get.
There's lots of environmental, at least to our area, reasons of why that's occurring, and most people simply don't have enough honey available to distribute. So there you go.
Wow.
That's lovely.
Yeah, that took this from an 8.5 to 9.5 to 10. I would have to say, if that is what it tasted like coming out of the bottle, I probably would have given this a 9.5 or a 10.
Yeah.
It's that kind of good. And it's not just because it was sweeter. It actually added to the whole flavor experience.
Yep.
The apple is more appley. The spices are subdued slightly, so they're not as astringent. And then you have that kind of, the honey has this weird, like, sour, bitter, sweet thing. It's not exactly just pure sweetness. There's like an acidic aspect to it, and honey is relatively acidic, which is why it can basically not spoil. And when you add that to this, it just rounds everything out really, really nicely. Just amazing.
So our takeaway from spiced apple wine is make some and enjoy it.
Yeah, wait a year and it's amazing. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
Bye-bye.